use the graphical interface because you can also boot into Scratch or text command prompts if you wanted to, but just to make it easier, you know, just do the graphical interface. You can change that at any time. You can go into the LX terminal, say for example, and just hit, you know, sudo space, what was it, res bmc space or dash config, and then that'll put you right into right where you need to be to check your. That's where you gotta mess with your keyboard. Make sure you go to en_us utf8 keyboard, 101 keyboard, 101 keys keyboard, you know, or at least somewhere one of those, so it'll work correctly. All right, well here we are. As a matter of fact, maybe I can demonstrate that. Let it, even though it looked like it kind of booted, it probably really didn't fully boot up just yet, so you kind of, you know, got to grow a little patience with this thing. It ain't nothing like what we got nowadays. Alright, so I'm doing this as a project for a friend of mine, so I put her name in there. So let me try to bear with me a second here, guys. Turn this friggin' one finger. Oops. My apologies, people. There you go. And then that'll pop in, and you get an idea of what you need to do. Expand file system. Well, if you already installed Noobs, it already did that, so it'll pretty much tell you that. Change password if you need to. Here's where you can enable the boot to desktop, like which I am right now, or you could boot to Scratch, or you know, the other option there. Internationalization options. Quick long word for change your friggin' keyboard. You know, enable a camera. You want to get that 5 megabit camera that they got for like 40 bucks on Amazon and pop it in there and turn it into a spy camera. That's where you're going to want to turn it on there. Add to Rastrack online network. You can do that if you wanted to. And here, if you want to overclock your Pi, you know, wouldn't go too far. You might fry it, but you know, wouldn't hurt because 700 megahertz is kind of lame. If you want another 100 meg or so, you know, wouldn't hurt. I didn't because this isn't mine. I don't want to fry it, you know. Here's another good area. You want to check the memory split, how much you want to give to the graphics, which I did 64. Just kept it at 64. You could go 128 if you want, but you're probably taking memory from the processor and the operating system, so you know, I would probably just leave it as is, you know. Get out of there. And you can, you know, if you wanted to reboot from there, you could do sudo space reboot, sudo space halt will stop it, and then you could, you know, power down your Raspberry Pi and change your SD card right there if you needed to. But you know, why? You know, I keep I got everything on the 16 gig, but I did put an emergency Raspbian right here, and then the emergency XBMC project there too as well. So this has areas for Python, programming games and things like that. You know, you can do all that. Go to the Pi store, you can buy some things. You can customize the look. You know, feel free. I don't really mess with this too much, to be honest with you. It's not really my forte, but there's a lot of nice things that you can do. So configure your Wi-Fi. Sure, this camera really isn't doing it justice. It might be washing out what you guys are trying to see here, but yeah, it's basically a stripped down, you know, Ubuntu or something, you know. I've ran that. I've installed that on several computers. It's a nice operating system, but it's really not for me. You know, so you got some nice things there. So. You actually have two desktops. You got desktop 1, desktop 2, believe it or not, if you configure it, you know. There's a couple web browsers too. They're rather kind of stripped down. What the heck are you on here? DuckDuckGo looks like that's your default search engine, DuckDuckGo. Doesn't do a thing for me. Thieves target seniors at nursing homes. Oh, that's great. Yeah. There's always something going on. There's always some scamming jerk. Run after the poor people now, you know. Terrible. So, well, anyway, you know, get you on the internet, do the little things that you need to do. It'd be nice if you had like a big TV at home, you know, and it doesn't have a port for the internet. You can actually enable this through the HDMI port, you know, just put it in one of your HDMI 3 or 4, and, you know, run it whenever you want. Kid wants to go on the internet, give him this, so he, you know, so he doesn't get in trouble. That's about it, guys. I'm here at work here, so I just figured I'd do what I can here to show this to you, but in a nutshell, it is what it is there. It does run a little warm though. I don't know if that's the processor or the can or what. I don't know. It does, you know, probably like 130ish. I've seen it up to 150, so. That little speaker kicks out some pretty good sound, so it depends, you know, do whatever you want. These are just coiled up wires that are out of the way, not harming anything, not in no one's way there, so. Yeah, it's a nice little Saturday afternoon project. I didn't have anything to do, so I'd help out a friend with her college project, you know. She's got some programming she's got to do on this, and she's got to present it to the professor and stuff, so I figured I'd help her out with the wiring.